Okay, so today I thought I would take you out to an old pond. This is probably a beaver pond, and right now you're looking out over the old dam, and you can see how old it is. There's lots of trees growing on it. We'll walk down below it here in a second. So this forest wasn't always a forest. At one point it was agricultural land, and so this little wetland or previous pond was more than likely either built by beavers or a farmer as a water source. So the dam is actually so level that I think it was probably beavers, and it actually goes around the side of the pond all the way around. So this would have been used for a water source, a drinking water source, but as it aged and it was abandoned, it was still functional. So this is a great habitat for wild birds. There's usually some wood ducks back here nesting, lots of amphibians, there's frogs. We didn't sneak up fast enough to hear the peepers, spring peepers, chorus frogs peeping. There's a lot of insects back here, and this is prime habitat for several salamander species, and I'll show you some pictures of those in a second. So this is still a great wetland. There's actually a tree in the back. It's the one arcing over the water. It's got new trees, living trees on it again. And you can see all the young trees growing in this. So it dries out in the summer, and so we call this an ephemeral wetland. And in the winter and the spring, it fills back up with water. And again, it's great habitat. Functionally, it's also important. It slows the water down that's coming off a subdivision upstream of it, and that allows nutrients and contaminants to either be taken up by plants or settle in the sediment, and so that clean water ends up in that downstream into Smith Creek eventually. So I thought this was a pretty cool aquatic place to show you. You can see all the yellow right now is pollen. So I'm going to slide it back across the dam. That's all pollen, but it's got a lot of moss growing on it. It's just a really cool place that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so this is looking on the other side. I'm right below the dam right now, so it's really level. That's why I think it's a beaver that did it. They're kind of known for how stable they can make their dams. And I just wanted to show you where the water is coming off now. There's another large tree that's at least 75 years old right on the dam. And this is where the water comes off. So when the water gets a little higher, it comes down this little ravine and then slowly back through the woods. This is the stream further downstream of the Beaver Pond or Old Farm Pond, and it flows down again into this little pool area. This is also considered a wetland at this point, and this is an additional basically transformation before it flows into Smith Creek, which will eventually flow into the Neuse River. And again, so sediment, nutrients, contaminants are all getting filtered out through these little wetlands before it ends up downstream and potentially into someone's drinking water. So really important to protect these small wetlands.